About 9 months ago, I decided to start a series where I would ultimately document my entire journey of becoming a YouTuber. I figured that this was a good opportunity for you guys to really get to know me a lot better, from the very beginning stages of being born all the way till now being in this exact position. And looking back at the video, it wasn't necessarily a bad video, but I realized that I missed a lot of key points between the ups, the downs, and everything in between that has really shaped me to who I am today, and I've never really portrayed it enough on my YouTube channel. That's why today I'm going to be sharing with you guys the stages of my life, from stage 1 of confusion all the way to stage 4, finding version 2.0. So this is my story. Stage 1. This part of my life I call confusion. One of the biggest ways that I used to summarize my childhood is that in a span of 9 years, I went to 6 different elementary schools. And with these constant changes came a lot of challenges. One of the biggest ones being coming to Canada, not knowing English, and being thrown into school within the first 2 weeks of being here. But I was faced with one of my biggest challenges as a kid when I was prescribed glasses because my eyesight was horrendous. I was young when I was first introduced to bullying, and it was just so mind-boggling to me how people could judge you without getting to know you based on something as simple as what you wear on your face. That bullying starting to make me feel insecure about my own appearance led to me eating more, which led to me gaining weight and then having something else that people could make fun of. It was just tough. It was very tough for me to be happy with myself because I felt like I was just so different to everyone else that I didn't fit in. I just couldn't see myself like every single other person. And it was tough. This slowly started to change for the good once we decided to move to a small town called Aurora. Stage 2, belief. Now, moving to this small town was the best decision my family ever made for us because this was where I started to really believe in myself. Now, for my whole childhood, one of my biggest passions has been soccer. I started playing at the age of 10. And when I started playing, I don't know why I thought that I was Maradona, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo. I felt like I was pretty good at the sport. So I decided to throw myself in there to find a competitive team. And in my first year, I didn't make the team because I wasn't fast enough. I hadn't really taken care of my body, so my cardio was very bad. But it wasn't there where I started to really make a change in my life. It was actually when I met my first ever mentor. I will never forget this day. I was on the sideline, I was doing a couple keep-ups, and there was just this one guy that just kept on staring at me. He had this look to him that he just looked like a coach. He looked at me doing a couple keep-ups and he said, "You're doing good, keep up the good work." I thought that was the last time I would ever see this guy. Till a couple days after that game, got a phone call at my house. Some random guy named Chris, who saw me play soccer and said that he sees something in me that's special. At a point in my life where I didn't believe in myself, where I thought the world was against me, finally someone other than my family really showed belief in me. And this belief would later on lead to more confidence and would lead me to losing all the weight that I had gained through the stress of being bullied and everything that I was dealing with before. I guess this was kind of the stage in my life when I started to really feel like I was special and like I actually had a purpose in my life. But unfortunately, like I mentioned in stage 1, everything is temporary. This stage of my life I call heartbreak. You'll honestly just hear the word and you just kind of think, ew. And the worst part is we don't even just go through it once. We go through it multiple times in our lives. It sucks. But within heartbreak comes breakouts. When I finally decided to just focus on myself, I got faced with all these feelings that I never really talked about or, expressed to even just myself. A lot of people find themselves and find their true passions and callings through heartbreak because they start to focus on themselves. And that's exactly what I did. When I was in university, I started to listen to podcasts and to entrepreneurs and started to fill my life with personal development. In one of my breakups, I stumbled upon this one video. I listened to this recording so many times to the point where I had memorized the entire, I think it was like a 7-minute long video. Through this video, he kept on mentioning the importance of finding version 2.0.
For a star to be born, there is one thing that must happen. A gaseous nebula must collapse. So collapse. Crumble. This is not your destruction. This is your birth.
At different stages in my life, I've searched up this video and I've rewatched it and I've seen how much I've grown from the very first time that I watched this video. It's just really cool to look back on that and to realize that when I first found that video, I was in the darkest place in my life and I didn't know who I was. And now being able to talk about it, I'm gonna be in a different stage of my life with a big difference that I've committed to.
This does not have to break you. It can create something new.
Stage 4 is all about me finding version 2.0. That ultimately happened when I started to focus on myself and to start shutting out the opinions of people around me. Through this, I started to focus a lot on personal development. I fell in love with trying to find the best version of myself because ultimately mental and physical health are hand in hand. They're just as important to each other. And so at this stage of my life, I think the biggest thing that I really want to outline in this video is that you need to take a pause, to take a break, to take a step back, analyze everything you've gone through in your life, and find the different lessons that each stage has taught you. Stage 1 taught me the importance of understanding that everything is temporary. Stage 2, on the other hand, when it comes to belief, the biggest lesson that I took away was just anyone can become your mentor. Going back to that day when I got that call from Chris Speller, my entire life changed. In stage 3, the biggest lesson that I learned through Heartbreak was the importance of being patient. You can't force connections, you can't force opportunities. Things will fall into place at the right time, and Heartbreak will teach you that. It'll teach you that you just need to let go of your expectations and be open to what the world has ready for you. And when it comes to stage 4, finding version 2.0, I think the biggest lesson that I am going to carry with me through the entirety of my life is the importance of focusing on yourself and what you truly believe in. Patience is the key.